you're one of those people that they're a little bit harder to find, the people who, the women in particular, who are making over, $100,000, $150,000 a year, and the 250 number, they're quite a bit harder to find
Mm.
there.
Well,
So,
I think, yeah, I do think there's a lot of people who are in 0 to 6, and then,
mhm,
like, I've built my last business, I built up to 7,
yep,
and then walked away from that, for various reasons,
yep.
and then sort of started again. So I think a lot of women aren't clear on their goal. I
I,
speak
I,
to people that just don't even have that ti they I said, "Okay, what's your goal?" To be successful."
yeah,
Well,
yep,
that's such an
exactly.
undefined target, you know? So I think that's a really big problem for women. I think often they just don't articulate it and don't want to ask for it.
Hmm. You're listening to Your Money, Your Business, the podcast with me, Debbie Colbourn. I'm a small business expert and a former professional accountant turned money mindset guide. And I am obsessed with helping you achieve all those things you've dreamed of and thought were out of your reach, with helping you figure this money stuff out. My goal on this podcast is to help you break the cycle of feast or famine with your cash flow and to help you grow your wealth and sustain it over the long term. We dive deep, we get real, and we get raw, discovering and exploring what is really possible for you and letting go of all those things that are holding you back. If you've ever thought it's not enough looking at your bank balance, or think, I'll never get that paid off, when you open up the credit card statement, maybe you're sick and tired of constantly being worried of just getting by, and you know you're missing out on key opportunities again and again, or maybe you're done with the constant arguments over money, then this is absolutely the right place. We'll bring you a whole new way to look at money, profit, cash, wealth, tackle the challenges, share the ideas, the tips and the tactics and the strategies, and get you connected to the right resources. Think of this as your weekly prescription of money mastery development, and leave the hard work up to me. No matter what's going on in your life right now, I've got your back. Ready? Buckle up, take a deep breath, and join me in a conversation about breakthrough to the next level. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our next guest interview in our series where we feature women entrepreneurs that have built and sustained businesses with annual revenues of more than $250,000 a year and dramatically change their lives in the process and those around them. Today, on Your Money, Your Business podcast, I'm joined by entrepreneur, high-performance business coach, and former Olympic weightlifter and bodybuilder, Alison Wheeler, all the way from Australia. Alison has a unique way of infusing her past experience as a national elite bodybuilding competitor, pairing it with the lessons, successes, mistakes, and painful memories of a financially successful network marketing business built in partnership with her husband to 7 figures. That MLM business threatened to destroy her emotionally and physically until she walked away to focus on her inner game, to find her inner Wonder Woman. A desire for a healthier body after a serious illness, a desire for more loving relationships, and a life beyond average led her to combine her education and experience as an occupational therapist with an existing lifestyle coaching business that she was running, and the benefits she'd gained working with specialized coaches in her competitive bodybuilding to go all in on coaching business owners to scale from 6 to 7+ figures using the tools that had worked for her. A best-selling author and a speaker, join Alice and I in conversation that, I'll tell you, left me more inspired and motivated to step up my game as well. So grab your notebooks, buckle up tight, and let's dive into this very unique conversation with Alison Wheeler. So, welcome. I'm super happy to have you here all the way from Australia with us. We have Alison Wheeler from Alison Wheeler Coaching, and she's going to guide us through what she's done in the past, her ups and downs, and what she's doing now, and share some tips on how you can get to those goals that you might not even know exist. So, welcome. Let's dive right in.
Thank you so much, Debbie, for having me. We are on opposite sides of the planet and different time zones, but that's the beauty of online, right?
Yeah,
Can all come
exactly.
together and reach different time zones. It's fun.
Yeah. So why don't we start off by telling us what gave you the idea to start into your coaching business? How did you end up, and we're going to work back, then we'll work backwards at it. So how did you end up starting Alison Wheeler Coaching?
Yeah, sure. So this is not the first iteration of Alison Wheeler coaching. So this is I think, the second iteration and a gap in between.
Mhm.
So this iteration we'll go with. Well, maybe we'll start with the first one. So the first one, I'm an occupational therapist by profession. So worked a lot within companies, looking at how, like, a lot of preventative work around preventing injuries, workplace culture, helping them to, have a better outcomes for productivity, better outcomes for the people working for them. Realize that a lot of companies have very terrible procedures and don't necessarily, like, the people employed within them don't necessarily know what to do, how to do it, all of that. So started coaching as a result of that, and so that's sort of where it started, and started to build that. And then I had my daughter. My husband thought it was a fabulous idea to start a network marketing company
Mhm.
because he wanted to be at home. And I didn't quite know how I was going to juggle the whole new mum thing. That was really like, whoa, holy, like that
Yep.
flipped
Holy
everything.
hell.
Yeah, like, holy hell, like,
Yeah.
what? And I found that transition pretty tough because I'd been, able, like, I'd built a lot of success, and I'm like, how now do I do this? Right? How now do I what is this? So that was a huge transition. No one really talks about that transition.
Mhm.
So my husband sort of was trying to build this business, throwing everything at it, and I'm like, oh, I'm very impatient. So I jumped on board with him, and I'm like, let's just put some rocket fuel on this thing. We need, if this is what we're doing, then we need it to be producing at a big rate fast. So jumped on board, probably kind of took it over, really. Anyway, as you do. And then I built that up to 7 figures. I built to be the number one distributor in that company around the world. Fabulous. That was great. Pandemic hit. Things changed, as we all know. And it just really rocketed the whole business and myself.
Mhm.
I'm actually super grateful for it. Okay, I wasn't grateful at the time at all. I was
Yeah.
probably a few expletives coming out of my mouth through that time. Wasn't grateful at the time, but I really am, because it made me look. And I had restarted my athletic journey, or probably more professionally and seriously again. Not that I ever stopped it, but it sort of combined at the same time. So it allowed me to really stop, look, and go, what are you really doing? Is this actually in alignment with what you really want? Or are you just doing it because you can, because you think that's what, you know, everyone else thinks you should be doing, or
Mhm.
because you're still trying to solve this problem for your husband, or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, do I want to be aligned with the vision of where that company's going? The answer to all those questions were no. So it was like, oh, now what am I going to do? Because I recall building success in that company, and then I still felt like I was by myself. I still felt like it wasn't in alignment, and I'm like, "What
Mhm.
on earth?" I didn't know what that was. Didn't understand that until I sort of had the time. Well, COVID pandemic gave me the time to sit back and review.
Yeah.
So, and then it kinda all unraveled. So then I was at the crossroads. What do I do, right? What am I gonna do from here? Holy, you become quite the figurehead when in something like that. This is a big, bold move if I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
So I left and I jumped, and I thought,
Mhm.
well, I'm going to build on the way out. I'm going to just have to, like, I can't do it anyway. I tried to do